Welcome to Hameen Royale. This is Eric Grissom.
And I'm Dan Johnson. Eric and I will be rewatching the iconic Twin Peaks from the pilot through the return and everything in between.
If this is your first time watching, or if you're a longtime fan, you can watch along with us as we dive deep into the strange and wonderful world of Twin Peaks and David Lynch.
We live inside a dream.
Today on Meanwhile, we are jumping into episode number 23, Dan, number fans. This is season 2, episode 16, The Condemned Woman. This is going to be our last episode. Unfortunately, the podcast has not been working out creatively, financially. No. But that was the way it was in the world of Twin Peaks. When this episode aired, the show was pretty much canceled.
Oh.
So ABC had canceled it. There is a long period of time in between this episode, which aired on February 16th, and the next one on March 28th. The reason why it came back, I will wait until next episode, but I will say it's because of fans that it came back, but it was essentially canceled. There is a timeline in which this episode and Josie and the Doorknob is the last Twin Peaks that people would see.
Oh my God.
If you were watching Twin Peaks, all of a sudden next week, there was no Twin Peaks.
My goodness. So what does that mean for us, Eric?
It means nothing for us. It means we have one... Oh no, it does mean we're taking a break now.
That's what I thought.
Yes, thank you, Dan, for reminding me of my brilliant idea of we'll take a break when they took a break.
Yeah.
This ends our part 2. Next week we will have off. But hopefully in that time, we'll be dropping some Patreon content.
Yes,
and
sir.
then the week after that, we are back for the last leg, the last part of the season 2 arc, beginning with an okay episode, like this one. And then the next episode is the episode I consider the writing of the ship.
Okay.
And then things go well. So the next episode's good, and there's good parts about it. There's good parts about this episode, which I will tell you. This is a big step up for me from last week. But I've talked at length about how I don't like last week's episode. But yeah, we got a lot. Let's talk about. Do you have anything to talk about with before we begin?
I just want to get into this one.
Okay. So, another thing before we begin, a general idea about this episode. This is the last episode for a lot of actors and some behind-the-scenes people that we'll see, that we'll go into, including Joan Chen. So she had asked to be taken off this show, which, may explain what happens to her at the end of this episode. So that was sort of why she's sort of gone. At least that was the impetus. And there's some other actors and characters that we'll get into. This was written by Tricia Brock. She had written episode 17, Dispute Between Brothers, which we covered. This will also be her last episode. This is directed by the great Lesli Linka Glatter, of which I'm a big fan. This is her last episode, so we won't see her behind the camera for the rest of this run. It aired on February 16th, 1991. CBS, what were they playing? Candid Camera.
The new Candid Camera with Dom DeLuise.
We're back and we're out there.
Coming September 16th. Check look.
Ooh.
NBC, Carol and Company, Dear John, and once again, it fails to chart with the can't keep up with Candid Camera.
I mean, looking back, yes, ABC probably did a bunch of things that did not help Twin Peaks succeed.
Yeah, like put it on Saturday at 10.
But yeah, when it's losing this badly all the time, you can maybe see. Well, it was a motivated decision, I guess.
It's wild to think that in less than a year, it airs, it becomes a big hit that's talked about in the general public. I can still remember seeing like a cartoon of Gorbachev talking to Reagan and saying like, who killed Laura Palmer? Like, it was everywhere. And here it is, literally with the wheels falling off. And it's just dead inside of a year, less than a year. We're in February. Okay. Roseanne and D-Light are on SNL, if you're still keeping up with that.
What an episode.
Let's get into it. We've talked about we've talked about the build-up. I'm excited to talk about this. I have my own feelings. Dan, you will get into your feelings. But let's get in my feelings and your feelings and take me and condemn the woman. Let's condemn ourselves.
This is the bullet we removed from you. This is the one that was excavated from the dead man's skull. Same bullets, same gun, same killer. Let's go get her.
Albert, hold your horses.
Coop? I appreciate any reluctance you might have for busting your pal's old lady, but the woman ventilated you and left you for dead.
Albert, I don't take it personally. What about the gloves, the powder tests?
News at 5. All right, fine, you're not mad, but there's an epidemic of multiple gunshot wounds following this chick around. She is a menace.
I'll talk to her. Maybe she'll confess, turn herself in.
Maybe she'll grow wings and join the circus.
Eric, we're at the sheriff's office. Cooper plays the tape from Earl for Harry, and they plan their next move. Picking up right where we left off, kind of.
Yeah. Again, we're similar to last week. We are closing up, we're going close on those chessboard pieces.
Do they make sense? Do the arrangement make sense?
This is correct. This is correct.
Okay.
So we're
Thank
literally
you.
on the chessboard. I love it.
Terrific.
They keep reminding us this is Cooper's move, right? We know the last time Earl played, he took a pawn, took that poor drifter, and Cooper's hesitating, and Earl's like, "You got to move." Wouldn't have
I'll make a move for you.
Sure,
which I thought was great.
Yeah,
it was really good.
I love the Lesli Linka Glatter's the way she directs and puts episodes together. It's my least favorite of hers. I don't blame her for that. Same thing with Tricia Brock. We're in a situation in Twin Peaks where there's not a lot you can do, but she manages to do some really good stuff, which I like. Like, I love the close-ups of the mask, reminding us of Caroline, and the little details, like the little golden owl that's in a glass case. That when that initial pan over, we start on a little golden owl, and then we move past. It's like on Harry's desk with the chessboard. They're going to delay the newspaper as long as they can to get that move, and they need Pete. And again, reminded of how much Cooper loves Caroline. Now, fans of the show, if you are keeping up with us, we're going to be reading the autobiography of Dale Cooper very soon, 3 weeks from now or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is, calendar fans. I'm reading it, and I'm at the end, and I have not read it since it came out. So there's a lot of stuff I forgot, but I just got to the part because they cover the Caroline's death and stuff. So it's interesting to see this and to see that. I have mixed feelings about the autobiography. We'll get to some stuff I really like, some stuff I'm like, but it's cool to see this, hear him talk about it while at the same time I'm reading it at night. Dan, what did you think of this little sheriff's office opening?
Yeah, I didn't realize that at the end of the previous episode, we see the mask that Earl had left on Cooper's bed with the tape recording behind it. I didn't realize it was like a death mask. Like, it was actually Caroline's face. I thought it was just kind of a Halloween mask of some sort. And now, so whenever Cooper's like staring at it, like wistfully, I was like, what is going on? And then it kind of reveals that it is Caroline's face. It was just a strange thing. How did he off the dead body? Was this?
Well, they were married, so maybe that was like a wedding gift, like his and her death masks.
It's a pretty common thing. People exchange rings and death masks.
Well, the death mask that had glowing eyes, like the eyes were glowing for some unknown reason.
Well, it made me think of one of those UV red light masks.
Yeah.
So maybe Earl was also really into self-care at the same time as trying to set Cooper up here. But yeah, it's just I love that, everything comes down to Pete. Grandmaster chess player Pete in all these things. Like, it's the crazy that this is the person that we're gonna have to rely on. Pete's got a big episode, I think, actually. In this one.
He does. He's got something to do, right? He's got to play chess.
Well, he's got that, but the next scene as well is great. But I love that we have more for Pete to do here instead of just drinking milk at a bar. I don't think there's a whole lot going on in the scene. Harry's now up to speed. We know what's going on here. Loves Caroline very much. Stakes are set. ready to move on. I feel like this episode's a lot of small scenes. There's not a lot of meaty scenes going on throughout here, just a lot of individual moments. You said previously you really liked the direction or this director.
Yeah, I like her episodes.
What about it? Like, what else about like stands out as something to be like, oh, this is something that feels like her, or yeah, I don't know.
I just like her choice. I don't know. I am not a professional critic. Half the stuff I'll just stare off in the face. Like, it makes me feel good to look at it.
That's fine. That's what I'm asking.
There's something about the combination of images and sounds and the choice of a cut and when to cut and which image to show. And
okay.
I don't know. I can't quantify that. I am inequipped.
Some of them I do see some distinctive stylistic flourishes, like the previous episode, for instance, or whenever, it's Lynch directing. But some of the other ones I don't really see.
And I had said, this is my least favorite of hers.
Sure.
And again, it's not a slight to her, but there's not as much fun. Like, if you remember, she is the one that introduced cool things, like conventions going through the Great Northern.
Well, that happens here.
There is the guys with the cowboy hats, which we'll get to.
Small, but yeah.
It's very small, and then later you see some background stuff, and it's not all guys in the cowboy hats. Like, it's clearly something, but it's not. They're not spending as much time, I feel like, having fun, and I think that has to do with a very tight schedule.
Yeah,
a lot of episodes. There's not as much time to play. That's the way I take it, and it's more of like cranking out a sitcom.
Yeah. Okay. No, that I
or drama,
totally
or whatever you want to call it.
No, I totally get that. It feels like this is an episode that just has to get through the business. So like in the previous episode, we're wrapping up storylines. This is continuing that, closing down some threads, and I guess kind of starting some new ones or whatever. So it just feels like there's a lot of work that needs to get done.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the scenes are so short.
I think it's a good episode, though. I think it's a strong episode and a big jump up from the last episode, which I am not a fan of. I've mentioned it already.
Have you mentioned
And even
that?
from the ones before that. So
Yeah.
To me, it's still going up.
All right. At the Blue Pine Lodge, Pete's playing short order cook before heading off to be the chess grandmaster we all knew he was. Josie returns and takes a nap.
Josie just gets knocked out several times in this episode. She is going through a lot with her LL Bean catalog, getting firewood.
Well,
yeah.
Now that I know that she wanted to leave the show, I guess she's just like, when I'm in the show, just let me sleep through a lot of it too. It just has less to do. Oh, poor thing.
Well, I would say she is getting loaded up with fear, my friend. Just pile on that fear into her soul.
It's a great episode for her, I think, too.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
She's the condemned woman in a way. All right, so we are getting, I like the phone call transition, right? It's like the previous scene. You better get Pete on the phone. You better call the newspaper. And then we cut to Pete getting that call from Lucy. So it's like the scenes are just, we're moving off at a clip. Everything's sort of connected here. The bear face, I assume it's a bear face that he's making for Andrew.
I thought it was a dog, or maybe I know it's hard to say, but it's great.
Yeah, he's awesome. Andrew Packard is
The two
fantastic.
of them.
Yeah.
Oh, and just how annoyed Catherine is at how much they
She's
like
not
each
having
other.
it.
They like each other, and she's just miserable. That's great.
Yeah. Dan O'Harley is, I just love him. Again, I'm going to talk about Halloween 3 just so I can make another Halloween 3 drop in here.
Happy Halloween.
Fantastic.
I like that Pete also calls her Poodle, which is like endearing, but she's not having it either.
It would be. He said that he uses that pet name a lot, and it feels like the most inappropriate name for her. I feel like she would hate it, and I don't think he's the kind of person that would use it in order to annoy her. It's just weird.
I feel like it fits her though. Like if you her hair, and like when I think of like a poodle, like a fancy pants poodle, that's sort of, I don't have a poodle. Maybe poodles' dispositions a little bit differently, but I feel a Catherine energy coming from a poodle staring at you, judging you from afar, and the hair, the curly hair, or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, you talk about how they get a kick out of each other. I love their relationship. We get a little bit of the what's going on in Ghostwood. Like Andrew Packard's like, he talks about investors in Paris. So like they're, as we're going to see with Ben's approach to it, they are trying to develop this land that she swindled. Well, swindled. She got fairly out of Ben.
Yeah.
Josie getting firewood. I just hate what they did to Josie. And I don't know. I know she was leaving. I know this was her last episode. I know all of those details, but I don't know when. So I don't know at what point she said, I want off the show. if it was recently, like within, or if it was part, because I don't blame her.
When she became a maid, maybe she's like, I'm done with this. It's terrible.
It's a terrible, like, yes, she is one of the best characters. She could have made a supervillain, like a wonderful supervillain. Mystery, you can't trust her, but she's like,
you never know which side she's on.
Yeah, she plays someone that's like innocent and vulnerable, but she's actually pulling the strings behind the scenes, and like,
or is she? Like, some of it is just, it's great.
All she's been doing is just doing laundry and like this whole maid thing. And I like all of the actors in this, but this storyline is not great.
Well, but it could have been fine. Like, she's in peril. She's stuck between Catherine and Andrew on one side and Eckhart on the other. She knows that she's in trouble and there's no way out situation. That's why I like her in this episode. You see that, her fear ratcheting up the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, I mean, like, it could have been kind of good. Like, we don't need to sit in that storyline for more than a couple of episodes, and we could have done something with it. But yeah, it's just really sad to see what could have happened if it had been allowed to evolve into something else.
I just don't love the idea that they're making her a maid. Like, it's like the premise of it is kind of dumb. Like, you're going to be my butler for whatever.
But to make her beholden to Catherine and have Catherine hang something over her, that feels right. This execution was not good, though.
It's fine. I just think she's such an interesting character to be sort of treated in this way, because she doesn't get as much. Like, when you think about first season Josie, it was all, you didn't know what to make of her, and you thought of her this way, and now she's in the shadows smoking in Ben's office, and it was just cool.
It was great. It was really cool.
And now it's whatever.
And now she passes out, and Andrew and Catherine are both like laughing,
just laughing,
in glee about it. Oh, it's just, they're horrible. So there's stuff to like about it, but yeah, no, I totally agree.
And it's great. Her entrance too, where he just says like Josie, or like someone's at the door, Josie, and she's like, oh, and just conks out. It's wild.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm having flash forwards to what happens at the end. Anyway, okay.
Take us to
Eric,
Truman's office.
We're back in Truman's office. Hank hobbles in and tries to strike a deal, but ends up striking the desk.
Yeah, Hank is in rough shape after that train wreck of Nadine. Like, he has got broken leg, right? Or he's got his arm in the cast too. I can't remember. He's real messed up. Yeah, he's on the crutches. Yeah, I think it's just his leg. But
yeah,
I love that Hank's always doing a con.
Yeah,
you know, he's always trying to, hey, what if I did this? And hey, and the way how serious and unserious he is at the same time, is in full display here. But all of this shows how ineffectual Hank is as a bad guy.
Yes,
at least when dealing with the Packards. Like, tries to kill Catherine by just calling her, fails to do that. Apparently, is the guy hired to kill Andrew. That didn't work. So he's just bad at his job.
Couldn't kill Leo. He's just not.
He really has tried and failed to kill just about everyone you've hired him to do. So,
and he got caught by the cops. He's just not a good criminal, but he is so supremely confident in his ability to charm people throughout this episode.
He's a con man.
Fails miserably. He's a con man that's not successful, so he has a bunch of unearned confidence, which I really kind of like.
Well, I would disagree.
Okay.
Because he's so ineffectual, and yet he's working for Ben. We know he's conning Norma all the time. Like, the con part works. Like, he's fooled so many people, and he's gotten to the point where he's treated like a super criminal, but he's terrible at his job, which is a con man. Like, in the inside, it's all fake, just like Ernie Niles.
I would say, I miss Ernie. I would say that as far as Norma goes, he's not conning Norma. She knows what's going on. She's letting herself be led by him. It's her sense of like obligation. I don't think she's like, oh, he's on the up and up, but she's letting herself get.
Yeah, but we're seeing 1 month in their marriage.
Yeah.
So he's conned her. And even when he was doing the con about I'm going to go get the stuff for JT Went, I still think she loves Ed. Believe me, I'm the first person online for that romance. I love that romance. And she's a smart, wonderful, intelligent, great woman, Norma. But part of her, I do think, falls for his his bullshit.
She wants to. I guess that's what a con man does. A con man finds the thing that you
Yeah.
want to believe and gives it to you. So, okay, fine.
My point is just like he's managed to.
Your point is you love Hank.
No, well, I do like Hank. I like
You
the
love
actor's great.
No, the actor's great. Yes.
But he's managed to put himself in these positions where he's being hired. Like you would get hired to kill someone and then you would fail and you'd not get hired again.
Right.
But he's managed to at least do it twice. In his defense, they think that Andrew actually died. So I guess I don't know.
So on his resume, it still looks pretty good. But yeah.
Yeah. So, but the meat of this scene is Hank telling Harry about Josie and the fact that everybody is going to know that like you're having an affair with this woman who killed Andrew Packard, and the way Hawk sort of does his little violence. But Harry is on a downward spiral. It is going to be a very rough couple of episodes for Harry. I'll leave it at that.
No, it definitely doesn't look good for him right now. It just gets worse and worse throughout the episode.
That's all.
I love a Hawk kicking out the crutch and then just face planting, Hank face planting right into the desk. I thought it was fantastic.
Dan is a huge fan of police brutality. I forgot to tell everyone. Yeah.
It's several things that I'm not gonna play along with that premise. Okay, moving on. Meanwhile, in the conference room of the sheriff's office, Albert goes over the evidence with Cooper, and all signs are pointing towards Josie.
We got the LL being Cooper, just like we had the LLB. Like Cooper and Josie should be in like the issue of the catalog.
Oh, that'd be so nice,
with their attire. I don't have a lot on this. Just that, okay, now we get confirmation. It was the same gun that killed Jonathan. It was the same gun that shot Cooper.
Yep.
You know, some of Albert's language, you know, he's calling her chick, and later he's going to call her bitch. And
I can't stand that.
There's some of that going on that's peppered into his thing. But, you know, it's his friend. She shot him. He whatever you want to do with that. I don't really have anything for this. It's always great to see Albert.
It is terrific to see Albert, but I guess the only thing in this scene for me is Cooper wants to try to talk to Josie and give her a chance to turn herself in, which is admirable, I guess, in a way. I mean, he knows Josie, he knows Harry's relationship, blah, 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 but like that's not how you police work. I don't know.
He's too close to Harry, and he doesn't want it to be true, even though all the evidence says that
he knows it's true. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's going to just get worse at that point.
Well, let's head over to the Great Northern, Eric. Audrey is climbing the corporate ladder and meets a handsome, rich stranger.
And that handsome stranger is Randy, the sassy attendant at the Great Northern that
Wait, no, that's not
worried.
That's what I meant.
Oh, okay. I do like the sass of Randy. Like he doesn't have a lot. I wish I should have wrote the actor's name down, but he takes what he can get and he runs with it. Billy Zane.
Listen to your friend Billy Zane. He's a cool dude.
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane. Now, did you remember Billy Zane was in this?
No, I did not.
Okay. So you get that spoiled in the beginning with the credits. So your eyes must have popped out Tex Avery style.
No, I skip over the credits in order to... were they credits over a scene?
Oh, yeah. Over a scene. It would have been over.
Oh, then I was watching the scene. I really wasn't reading the credits. I can't read as well, so that makes it hard.
Now, it was fun because when Titanic came out...
You will never behave like that again, Rose. Do you understand?
Everyone was like... Oh, this is Titanic, and hey, that's the guy from Twin Peaks. And when I watched Twin Peaks, it was, hey, that's the guy from Critters.
If your dad catches me up here, I'm history.
Like, so there was always some point that you could just look back at a young me and say, Billy Zane has been there with me. I didn't really go into the fandom thing and basically everything after Titanic. I don't know what he's doing. Seems like a delightful guy. Wait till we get into the Billy Zane sweaters that are going to come.
Oh, fantastic. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, so you get this character. They're going to give him a connection to the horns, which we're going to build upon. This is we've got a Audrey Cooper story. What are we going to do with Audrey? We're going to bring in Billy Zane to fill that thing, which, whatever. It's fine.
If you're going to pick somebody to come in and fill
I have a bunch of stuff here, some... I guess fan fiction you may want to add that I'm ready
to... Are you
to
shipping here? What's going on?
No.
Okay.
When you watch this scene, Billy Zane is talking about having a picture of Audrey in her pigtails, and he's like, you look so cute. And you're like, how old is he supposed to be?
And like so memorable, something you don't forget.
Yeah.
I don't...
I can explain this, right? So Billy Zane, or I should say John Justice Wheeler's father, he's a builder, Twin Peaks.
Right.
builds everything for Ben Horn. They're working together. Ben Horn has an Oktoberfest party. He invites John Wheeler's father over, and he brings his little son. His son, let's say his son, little Billy, little John Justice Wheeler. He's 13. He's nervous. Doesn't have anyone to talk to. Spots a 10-year-old girl with these pigtails. She's the most beautiful girl he's ever seen. He just remembers this day. It says nice day. He's never invited again. These are sort of lower class people as far as the Horns are concerned. So this is sort of his one brush up against a good time. Works for his dad in the construction business. They're working for Ben. When he gets to be 18 years old, Dan, he's going to go to college. But his dad suffers a heart attack. He dies. They realize his dad is a degenerate gambler that's in a lot of money to One-Eyed Jacks. He's been spending the money. There's all these debts. So little John Justice Wheeler doesn't know what he's going to do. So he turns to the only person he knows in town with money, Ben Horn, not realizing Ben Horn owns One-Eyed Jacks. Ben Horn is like, well, I could lend you the money to pay One-Eyed Jacks back. Meanwhile, he's paying himself. And you could try to make something of the business. He does. He turns that business around, Dan. He turns his family's construction business around. He sells it. He makes enough money. He pays Ben back. For the next 3 years, he's about 21 now, I'm going to say, he starts this empire, and that's how he's brought back in. So they were close in age, 13 to 10. He remembers it from the family party.
Yeah.
That's how
Sure.
I'm going for
Sure.
it.
I mean, I love the story. I can't wait to see the comic book that results from this.
And from his perspective, he thinks Ben's this nice guy, like lending his family the money. Because this is Ben we're talking about. This is old pre-Civil War Ben, who always has an angle. So he's making money. He's making money off this, and he thinks he's just sort of bailing his business back, not realizing he's probably the reason why his dad was a degenerate gambler. Now, there is no character of the dad. I'm just saying the dad as if it exists.
No, none of this actually happened. I love
None of this happened.
None of
this is out of canon, but in canon for me, because otherwise it's very weird to see a guy talking about a girl in pigtails.
I will say
that's 8 years
Billy
ago.
Zane is 5 years older. Well, yeah, he would be 5 years older. So he would have been 15 when she was 10. So you said 13. Not bad.
Audrey's older too, but she's playing an 18-year-old.
Okay, I'm just
so
saying,
I'm
like, it's not
aging
too
Billy.
far off.
I'm going to age Billy Zane down
Great.
to the same direction.
Fantastic.
So
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Eric, can you do the same? Can you do the same sort of backstory fan fiction for Randy St. Croix? Did you know that was his last name, or St. Croix? It's
Wait, who's that?
St. Croix. The sassy.
Oh, that's who it is. Okay, good job, Randy. I didn't know that was his last name. I just knew the Randy.
Yeah, actor is Ron Blair. Ron Blair, give you your flowers
Good job,
there.
Ron Blair.
Fantastic.
All right. So now that you got the whole thing, she mentions the dress. It's an Oktoberfest outfit, whatever, Dirdle or whatever. She played Heidi. So I got this whole thing going on in my head. Yeah. So I think that's all I have with this scene.
It is very weird the way that he closed. If I close my eyes, I can still almost see it. Oh, it was weird.
Because he's pining. He is this hardworking, working class people. And here he's finally led in to the aristocracy of the wealth of the Horns. It's very intoxicating.
I imagine.
And I'm sure she was cute with their little pigtails. And he's 13, still kind of weird when you're 13, you'd be looking at a 10-year-old. But I guess it all evens out in the wash. Big to do here is that she gets that letter.
She sure does.
Save the one you love. Please attend the Gathering of Angels tonight at the Roadhouse, 9:30. And she gets her portion of the poem. Now, Leo's writing has greatly improved.
I mean, I'm assuming it's a lot of practice with a lot of shocks. A lot of shocks to get there. That was not his first attempt or 100th. Also, just in the background, the placard that there's signage in the background says it's the Welcome Tri-County Rodeo Association 1989 Annual Convention. 1989?
Very... Well, that's what year this is. Well,
is it? I guess it has to be.
This is well, yes, right? Because it was 89 when they shot the pilot, but it didn't air for a year later. But I think in the canon of the show, it is 89. And remember, season 2 is like 3 weeks. This would be in February she dies, February 24th. So we're still in 1989. We're like in March or April of 89.
Yeah, okay.
Don't go by the years because you'll go crazy. But I think that's why it says 89.
No. You're right. Okay, that's why it struck me as like, wait, what's going on? But yeah, okay, right. So it must be late spring or spring-ish because they're supposed to still be in school, but they're not going to school. Obviously,
Yeah, I think we're in March. Or something. Okay. But good catch on that. I know we saw the hats, but yes, I forgot that the banner's there.
Well, it was only because I kept seeing these older women in those really wide dresses, and then there's the scene in the diner with everyone wearing cowboy hats. So it's like, oh, they're doing another thing like the barbershop or the whatever. I went back. Anyway, great. But let's head out of the Great Northern and over to the Hurleys. Ed's arranging the bric-a-brac as Nadine rearranges their relationship. If you remember, Nadine did she throw Hank through the display case? So yeah.
Yeah, she knocked the whole thing down. The whole thing got knocked down.
Ed must have fixed it, and he's rearranging all the little figurines and stuff. Yeah.
I love how Ed is the one who is home now. Ed is the one that is cleaning the knickknacks while she's the one that's sneaking around and doing all her stuff. Ed immediately jumps to the all night bit when she's talking about Mike, and it's less jealousy, I feel like, than just being impressed.
Maybe a little both. A little envious.
Maybe a little. It's a weird time for Ed. Nadine does mention calling a spade a spade. Now, in the future, Nadine will be drawn to shovels in some way. We'll have to wait for the return for that. And I don't know, when they embrace at the end after she's talking about Mike and all this stuff. He's got this look on his face that must be relief, but it's also like he's just completely overwhelmed by this whole situation. Like, is he actually out? And you have that feeling like you're ready for the other shoe to drop. Like, is this really all happening?
Well, it's this thing that he's wanted for obviously decades now, but also she thinks she's a high school. Like, none of this is okay. None of this is okay. So how can he really take it at face value if she were to come out of this at some point? If she finally wins the war against the North, like Ben did,
they'll have to work through it.
It's going to be a little hard to. But yeah, he's finally getting what he wants, which I know makes all the Norman Ed fans very happy. But Eric, let's head back over to the Packards, where Cooper's interviewing Josie, and Catherine ever so discreetly listens in.
I love this. This is a great shot from Lesli, Linka, Glatter. This is the kind of stuff I like as Catherine is watching. Twin Peaks needs more of those sneaking around and spying. We got a whole bunch of that. It was a big part of season 1.
But she's so clearly easily in view. Like, there's nothing. It just struck me as very funny. It does look good, but it's very funny.
I like it. I like the little POV shot, and I feel like I'm listening in on something I'm not supposed to listen to, and I like that. And obviously, it's, Catherine's got a big plan, which we'll get to at the end. Yeah, I mean, Josie is going to tell Cooper about Jonathan, but, she's continuing her deceit. Like, she's not admitting to any truth. She's living in secrets. Her secrets are consuming her, literally. Cooper with that fishing vest. There's a lot of fishing stuff.
Oh, yes.
Practicing his fly fishing later on. I don't know. It's like, after he leaves is when it sort of gets interesting, right? Josie is at her lowest. And that's when she's going to meet with Catherine, who reminds her, hey, you're going back with Eckerd. And by the way, here's your old gun. I'm assuming it's her old gun, right? So and they don't tell you. But in my head, right, she's got the Walter PPK that she shot Cooper with, that she shot Jonathan with. Maybe when she agreed, I need help, Catherine, she said, well, I'm taking your gun. And now she's giving her gun back by showing you where it's hidden.
That does make more sense than it being a gun traceable back to Catherine. So yeah,
that's the way. Yeah, that I would take it. But the way when she gets it back and she's comforted by the violence that she can do to try to get out of this, because that's how she's gotten out of a couple of jams.
Josie's totally stuck. Cooper gave her an ultimatum. Like, she's got to turn herself in by the next morning, right? 9 next morning.
It's 9 at night, I think, because later on at the end of this episode, when Catherine calls Cooper, I think he says, I was about to head to your house.
Okay, fair enough. Yep. So she's really in dire straits there. Yeah, just the way that Catherine sets her up in this way. It's just all these people playing chess with other people as pawns. And it's not just Wyndham Earl. Everyone's kind of doing it.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the midpoint. You knew it was coming, but it's important. It's important to champion those that have joined us in the Black Lodge and have made this show possible by going above and beyond. I'm, of course, talking about Eric Knopp, and Dawn Adamo, and Gregory Flanagan, and Chuck Suffel, and Banjo Track. I may want all my Garmonbosia, but you will have my heart forever. How did they get here? How did they get a shout out like this? Because they have joined our Patreon, which is available right now. So if you want to support the show, you can stop by and sign up for free or do one of the paid tiers that gets you the secret podcasts and you help us out. Go to ericgrissom.com/meanwhile and you should see a link for the Patreon there. All right, let's get back to the proper episode.
Back at the Great Northern, Ben is back and ready to start making deals on behalf of the endangered pine weasel.
Well, is Ben back, or is it a new Ben that's eating carrots and wearing workout attire? He looks like Fred Willard and Catherine O'Hara in Waiting for Guffman.
You don't care about anyone but yourself. Who is it? Henry Fonda. I always have to tell her who I'm doing. She always laughs, but now who is that?
That's the vibe I
Exercise
get
suit
from
is
him.
so over the top, chomping on a huge stalk of celery the entire scene. It's really silly.
Yeah. What is great is like food has not left the Horn brothers repertoire or whatever, but it's now healthy food. Like he's turned a corner and this is the new Ben, but as we'll see, it's not that much different than the old Ben. I love that. Well, I hate that they have literally nothing going on for Bobby. Although he's Bob Briggs now, executive assistant. But like he's got nothing. They've done this now. They have like these great characters. They just don't have a lot going on with them. Hot Dog Ben, look at you as we get into the introduction of John Justice Wheeler. It's just a funny little bit of dialogue. I don't know, like, again, we're going to talk about the mill again, because we already heard from the Packards, now from Ben, like, he's going to remind you that the mill, Ghostwood, and the land are now with Catherine. We never hear about One-Eye Jacks, except for my little story that I invented, where that was the reason why all this terrible stuff happened. I don't know. I like Ben's plan. Like, I do like the way that they switch from thinking he's still crazy to, oh, he's actually brilliant in how they're going to stop Catherine. It's very similar to like Leland's touching the thing and you're like, where are you? And then he's talking about dropping things in the Caymans and
still confident.
It's that kind of thing. But it's for real. Like it's like, no, this is actually a new Ben, but there's like a method to this madness. And so we're going from the Civil War to the Pine Weasel, and I don't know which one you're going to like better, but we're doing it. And he considers politics, which is, again, a Kennedy connection for me.
Definitely. He wants to make a run for Senate.
I don't know. What did you think about the Pine Weasels, which are incredible roasted?
Wait, what?
The Pine Weasels, I said, they're incredible roasted.
No. I heard you. But I still said what?
It's Jerry who says that.
Found only in our Tri-County area. It is nearly extinct.
They're incredible roasted.
It's a very funny line.
How did I miss that? That's great. Okay, fantastic. Ben, now he's got this fitness kick, apparently. Who knows how real that is, but whatever, he's got his exercise, he's eating his celery, he's being an environmentalist, but he's doing it for the wrong reasons to try to stop Ghostwood, so it's kind of perfect for him. Did Jerry have a bandage between his eyebrows?
I don't recall offhand him having a bandage, but I would not be surprised if he did or did not. I just don't remember that detail. No, I see it. Yeah, he's got a Band-Aid in between his eyes. Did not pick up on that.
Completely not worth our time.
Yes, it is. And you're going to tell me in the comments because I would like to know what that's connected to. I'm sure it's something in story that we missed. Leave it in the comments.
Something completely critical to the entire story. Anyway, other than that, like just bringing in John Justice Jack Wheeler into this, terrific. The three of them sitting on the couch together. Bobby really doesn't have anything to do in this scene. It's really sad. I imagine he's actually like honing in his bugle skills, but other than that, he's got nothing going on here. So let's
he's got nothing.
Let's leave Ben's office.
Well, let's stay in Ben's office again. So
what we got?
It's also, so John Justice Wheeler is like, what if your dad was good? Like everything about him is like, he's really good. He's really rich. He's a good businessman, but he doesn't strip companies for parts. He's making these companies better. Like, he's doing these really good things. She calls him like a saint at one point or whatever. But like, so it's the opposite. However, unless you go into my fan fiction thing and you say, okay, well, what if he was a construction person working for Ben and then he did something illegal for Ben that caused people to die?
Oh, no.
Then Ben got some insurance money and then he felt so guilty and now that's why he's doing it? I don't know. But anyway, the point is like, it's like, I got a lot of problems with the whole Justice, John Wheeler, Audrey thing that is going to build on. But it's, I don't know, it's very much the Prince Charming thing, and he's coming in from, he's got all the money and he's good and all, I don't know.
But it's in a certain way, in that, do-gooder trying to fix things, whatever, it is like the replacement for Cooper. That's how Audrey sees Cooper.
It is.
So it does work in that way.
Yes.
But yeah.
It's a combination of Cooper and her dad. Yeah, it's the business.
Which, okay, anyway.
Which is what we're all looking for.
That's
that
all we
combination of
want.
Cooper and her father.
God bless you if you can find it. Eric, let's go looking for it over at the Double R Diner. Shelley gets a message, and Ed finally makes his move.
Yeah, hearing about Annie for the first time, so that's exciting. Norma's sister, she's getting on a bus, she's coming to town. We know that she was in a convent.
What?
She's living in a convent. We don't know the reasons why she left are unclear at this time. I like that Norma refers to her as someone from another place in time. She always thought of her sister as coming from another place in time. I like that.
Uh-huh.
We see Earl a bit, Wyndham Earl, leaving the note, and he does a lot of undercover work, which will be around for a bit. He leaves his note for Shelley, so she gets her note. And Norma's wise enough to know, like, it's dangerous. So you get a little bit of that motherly advice for Norma. And as you said, yes, Ed and Norma love affair. I dream about you every night. What a great speech.
Just dipping
And he
her down.
proposes.
Yeah. Ready for it.
Machin, Shelley,
Yes.
when she's watching him and she's leaving,
I love it.
she is so cute. You would burst into flames if you look at that for too long. You got to look away from the screen. Your eyebrows catch on fire.
I love Norma and Shelley's relationship so much. Shelley is just so happy for her. Finally, she's been, seeing this what do you call it?
Unrequited love or something.
No, but it was never requited. That was the wrong word. It was
forbidden love.
Forbidden love.
Well, not even. Is it
unconsummated? Whatever. It doesn't matter. They're gonna
doomed.
It's happening. So it's nice to see Shelley so excited for her. Terrific. Meanwhile, though, out in the woods, Leo's sharpening sticks while Earl waxes poetic.
And Earl comes in first. He's singing the Foggy Foggy Dew, which is an old folk song.
So all night long I held her in my arms, just to keep her from the foggy, foggy dew.
And there are many different versions of this song, Dan. But one of them feels apt, and it is about a young maiden who sleeps with a man for fear of some dark force or entity, in the foggy woods. And after this man has his way with her, she dies. So we're talking about these three young queens, perhaps, that will be succumb to the foggy, foggy dew. It's interesting stuff. I don't know. I don't have anything. Nature is cruel is also a lesson we get.
Yep.
I love Leo's face when Earl cuts himself on the arrow, and he is just so proud that he did good work.
Yeah.
And he's just looking up at him like, yeah. But I don't know. It's Earl in the woods.
Yeah, it's one of those quick scenes just moving us along so that we can head back to the sheriff's office. Hank is in a holding cell. Norma asks for a divorce, and she refuses a final favor.
I love to see Hank get what he deserves.
Yes.
He tries all of his angles. Every one of them fails. He's already tried that with Harry. He's not having a good day. And now here he is with Norma, and it's not working on Norma. So all his cons are he's bankrupt.
Norma just completely holding firm. No matter what, she's like, no, I've made my decision. I mean, it was that big kiss from Ed that gave her all the...
I'd rather be his whore than your wife. I mean...
Perfect line.
God damn it.
Terrific.
She walks out of that room and her footprints are on fire.
Like, Hank is trying to get her to create an alibi for him. No more lies, Hank. I think that's an important line because the lies come back later. Anyway, I think that's really terrific. But just the fact that Norma is actually finally the one breaking the spell that Hank has had over her this entire time. And he's trying to be so sweet. And again, he's so confident in his ability to sweet talk her into doing whatever, until she finally leaves. And then he finally explodes in rage as she's like shaking the bars there. It's great.
Yeah, he does that. He does that sweetness, then like, oh, I'm going to change my ways, until, anger, threatening, holding something, and one by one, nothing works until he shakes those bars, and they look like they're not the most sturdy bars in the world. And this, my friends, is adios to Chris Mulkey. We will not see Chris Mulkey again in Twin Peaks. So this is Hank's last episode. Pour one out for Hank.
Oh.
So is that a spoiler? The people think Hank's not coming back? I mean, it's sort of a send-off, but it's his last episode.
I mean,
as well as Joan Chen.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not.
Yeah. So say goodbye to Hank.
It is a thing that you wouldn't know at the time watching this, so in that way it's a spoiler, but it's not spoiling plot. I don't know. That's fine. Weigh in on the comments if you think this is a spoiler. It's fine. All right. But great. I didn't know that. That's a great final scene for him. I really enjoyed this actor a lot.
Yeah, and we're not done saying goodbye to characters,
All right.
so let's keep going.
Keep it going. Let's head over to the conference room, Eric. The chess club meets, and Cooper has some bad news to tell Harry.
Back to chess, finally. Yeah, so we're going to hear about that Capablanca and Lasker from 1914. I love the map on the chalkboard outside of the chess. Behind them, we're going to see more of that hand-drawn map at Twin Peaks that you always see sort of drawn on the chalkboard.
Is it
love that.
The same one that's been there for a while? Or is
it's been there for a while.
I like it too.
Yeah. So Pete finds the move. Finally, Cooper's going to make a move. He's going to move a pawn. It's pawn to Queen's Knight 3. I just love it. It's great that we get to see a little bit of action. As you said, like Pete's doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting Pete in a scene, which is always great to see Jack Nance. We learned also that Earl has a sense of honor, right? Because Harry's like, what if he just starts killing people? Like, what? It's like, no, he's crazy, but he's honored. Like, he has to follow the rules. He's strict about certain things.
Yeah.
Which I like. Albert has got more condemning news for the condemned woman. Things are not looking good for Josie. The powder on the gun was used to shoot Cooper, was on Josie's gun, and the Seattle police have an eyewitness that has identified Josie as leaving the car where Jonathan was found. Now, the eyewitness did not make it to the newspaper report when we saw that paper before, where it said, like, no leads.
But this is where you said before, if you ain't gonna bust this bitch, not Albert. No. Everything else about Albert is great. That cannot stand. I get it. I mean, like, he's righteousness. Like,
yeah, but donuts are back.
That's true. I love that Pete is not just a good chess player. He's someone who studies chess.
He's well read.
Yeah, so he could just go. They had to stop him because he could just go off on a tangent about all these previous moves and But Pete bought them. He said, 5 or 6 moves?
5 or 6 moves,
which is pretty good, Pete.
Like, this will keep you up at night or whatever. I forget what he said.
Yeah.
His move.
Yeah, that's pretty great. So, we got the expert here. But we can move on. Yeah, we'll head over to the.
The other bit important piece here is Harry hears this conversation between Cooper and Albert, and because he's like, "Are you going to tell him? Are you going to tell him?" No, blah blah blah. It's like, you already did.
Yeah,
and Harry is off to Sad Town. Harry's off to a weird place, guys. Just, if you haven't seen the show before, Harry's going to go through some stuff, and couple episodes. You got a couple episodes of Sad Town Harry.
Well,
so let's.
James left Sad Town, so someone's got to be the mayor.
Somebody always has to be in Sad Town.
So this time it's Harry's turn.
Yeah, and Harry's gonna you're gonna see.
Fantastic. All right. At the Blue Pine Lodge, Andrew meets with Josie and sends her off to her fate.
This is a neat little Easter egg, or like bow tie, or like Ouroboros. We open on Josie in the same way we opened on Josie in the pilot. So where her first episode and her last episode, you got that great shot of her in the mirror, applying the makeup, trying to cover the damaged inner beauty with this exterior lipstick. I just love it. It's like a nice little bookend or whatever, visual visual dollop for your Sunday. All these terrible people exploiting her at every angle. Again, I said this before, but I just wish she had a better arc. And maybe they were building to it. Maybe her as the wait staff or servant or whatever was going to build to something more, fulfilling than this. But it is what it is, right? So you get this confrontation between the woman who tried to kill him and the man who was killed. So that's an interesting dynamic and conversation. And, they're offering her a way out with the cops, which is to go back to Eckerd. He's going to take her out of the country. But we know, right? We know what their plan is. I mean...
This is why I love, Andrew says to her, please, Josie, there'll be no more lies between us. So this is the second in 3 scenes. He's completely lying to her, and previously it was Norma saying to Hank, "No more lies." In that case, it was actually the truth. So just the way that Andrew is setting her up, again, this could have been so great for Josie. There's so much tension building up here. She's getting played on both sides. She's got no outs here. She's got Harry to think about. She's trying to save her own skin. Like, this could have been really. It's a pot boiler. Like, there's just a lot of tension. It's a lot of fear building up inside of her. It might be attracting things from the outside, drawing them in. Well, that's interesting that they even mentioned ghosts in the previous. But anyway, that's great. Let's get to the real plot though of this episode.
Okay.
Finally, we get to see Donna and James have a going away picnic in a secluded spot in the woods. How did Donna get there? She's just hanging out in the middle of the woods with a picnic basket, and James drives up.
She told him where to go, right? Because this is a new spot. I wanted to do something new for you. Just when you think you're over this Evelyn storyline, they're still talking about it. It's like, you can't even get out. We got to hear about how I would talk to the cops, and they're going to let me off, and I'm going to go testify. And it's like, Donna deserves so much better than James, than this version of James.
Yeah.
Now, I would say season 1 James is a different James, or even James until, they resolve the killer of Laura Palmer.
Until Maddie dies, yeah.
Post that, James is just awful. He's just awful to her. Like, he's cheated on her. And then sort of she came back, and then he was kind of being like, I like the way you smell too. Like, he was still being like a weirdo at that point. She is asking him to come home. He refuses. It's like, girl, you got to move on.
Yeah.
Girl. James. I don't know. We bid farewell to another character. James Marshall is gone from the original series, at least on screen.
Wow.
Maybe you'll hear his voice again, but this is it. I just feel like he also deserved better. Just like Joan Chen should have had a little bit of better thing. Put him in the Bookhouse Boys.
Right.
Have him solving mysteries this whole time instead of fixing cars.
Yeah, it was such a terrible C plot.
It's not a good plot.
I don't know. It
didn't do his character any good. One other note, like, we go to like a secluded thing, reminds me again of the pilot. They went camping and the whole thing with the thing, so that we're getting a little bit of that. But I guess it's an emotional send-off for James.
Is it?
But it's not real. Like, it's
not satisfying.
There's no air left in these tires.
Yeah.
Because they weren't even together. So it's not even like they're reflecting on... It's like she came in at the last minute to save him, but not really save him. And I don't know. It's a shame what's happened. Donna's character, too, has nothing going on.
I mean, it is good that they're paring back the cast. I don't remember anything. Just gives fewer people more things to do, maybe. But Donna doesn't have anything to do in this episode either. It's just saying goodbye to James. It's just such a waste for a lot of these characters.
They're going to give her another mystery.
Fantastic. Can't wait to see it. But she says, I want to be part of something good now. So I hope she gets to do something good.
Yeah.
But Eric, let's check back in at the Blue Pine Lodge. Harry interrupts the Martells' domestic scene as he's tracking down Josie.
So Catherine is reading Great Expectations, which I've never read.
Oh, gosh.
But to my understanding, it is about like a orphan or a street person that's brought into high society, which is kind of Josie's story in a way.
Well, I
don't know. Is that what it's about?
Mrs. Haversham. There's an old recluse woman who has a niece or a girl that she treats as her niece, who she uses to get back at men. So she that is Great Expectations, right? Yeah. So she twists her so that she can kind of manipulate the boy that she falls in love with in order to ruin his life in the way that her life was ruined, or something along those lines. But it is a story of manipulation.
Is it anything to do with Josie?
Catherine would be Mrs. Havisham. Josie is the niece, and I think Pip would be like maybe Harry, or I don't know.
Okay, never mind. I thought it was about a person off the street that was brought into like a Saltburn style thing, poor person brought into a.
Should I see Saltburn? I've never seen it.
Did you see the Talented Mr. Ripley?
The original movie, not the show.
Then you've seen Saltburn. It's basically the same exact story. Pete is, of course, making a fishing lure. There's a lot of fishing things going on here. We saw already Cooper with his little fishing vest. Yep. He's going to be practicing his fly fishing in a hot minute. And here is Pete making his fishing lure. I like Catherine's or Piper Laurie and Jack Nance's nonverbal acting when Harry comes and she's trying to buy time for this murder to happen, and when Pete's like, no, she said she's going to Great Northern, and she's looking at him like making sure he says the right thing, and Pete is definitely aware that Catherine is up to something and he's mad about it, but he doesn't know what it is. Like, he's not aware that they're about to either have Josie kill Eckert or have Eckert kill Josie, and the other one's going to go to jail for the murder.
But he definitely knows that there's wheels.
He knows there's
in motion.
Something.
Yeah,
something bad is happening, and he still likes. Supposedly, he still likes Josie.
Yeah, he still likes Josie. Still loves his poodle as well. Speaking of the nonverbal acting between the two of them, when Harry's at the door, Catherine's reading Great Expectations with a mug of tea in her hand, and Pete's there with his fishing lures and has got this whole setup there, and she just waits him out so that he'll answer the door. I just love these little passive aggressive moments of showing their relationship. Is terrific. I think it's great. It's so small and so silly, but I really love that. Anything else in this scene?
Now we could go to an elevator.
Why don't we head to the Great Northern? Eckert takes an elevator ride with a ghost who whispers words of betrayal.
For a storyline that is near the bottom for me, I just love "I'm alive." The way he delivers it is fantastic.
The strangest choice, but it's so good.
Yeah, and I like just watching Packard, priming Eckert for murder, and the language that he uses and the choice of words and everything. And we get a hint from Eckert that he is, quote unquote, taking care of the local sheriff.
But Josie loses her heart with alarming regularity. The local sheriff of all people.
I have taken care of that.
I don't doubt it.
So we'll have to see what comes of that, if anything. But otherwise, it's a David Warner's always good as well. So it's fine. I just love the "I'm alive" delivery.
It's a highlight. The best part of this entire episode. It's terrific. But yeah, the whole thing with Andrew saying, that Josie warned me off herself, couldn't bear to see her beloved husband perish, or more realistically, nothing to be gained. But just, the way, again, just poor Josie, everyone is manipulating her, and it's, what a weird end that is coming very soon. But before we get there, it's time for dinner at the Great Northern. Ben and Audrey have dinner with Jack, and the heat isn't just coming from the kitchen.
Oh, yeah, a little love connection or something.
Connection. Yeah.
Talked about the bunch of cowboys in the lobby, so they all have cowboy hats. Yep. You mentioned the convention sign was already revealed, so it was cool. It's the last Leslie Linka Glatter episode, so she started it, so of course she's going to continue it in some way. We learn more about Jack. He buys failing businesses. I think I covered all this stuff. He fixes them and sells them. Right. He doesn't strip them for parts. He's a quote-unquote good businessman.
Unlike Richard Gere's character in Pretty Woman. I just want to contrast those completely. He strips them for parts. Sorry, I don't know. Favorite movie.
I love the line that Ben says, "Excuse me, the chef just tried to stab Jerry." That's where I'd mention, is that why he has the... But no, it's not.
Great. It's great.
Clearly, this is a scene after that. the flirtation's really picking up too between this Justice character and Audrey.
Yeah.
You don't like me very much turns into some back and forth banter. He's going to the far corners of the earth like he's this mysterious stranger with his own jet.
Mm-hmm.
If you're into that kind of thing.
And who would be? Ugh.
I'm going to complain.
Please do.
Audrey's such a cool, interesting character. So much more in the first season. You know, going undercover, doing all this stuff for Cooper. But I just hate that it's like her destiny seems to be just to be someone's girlfriend. To have someone take her away and see the world. Like, I want her to see the world on her own. She's just more of that type of character to me. We also get, like, I'm only 18, she says to him, which this is part of another plot that is silly. And we're going to cover that later, so I'm not going to talk about this now. But there's so much stuff about purity with these girls, and it's just dumb. I don't know. Whatever. I don't have anything else.
Well, there is that moment, too, with the purity where Ben is saying to Jack, Jack, you shall be my teacher. Think of me as an open book upon whose virgin pages you shall scribe. And Audrey has that coughing moment. And it just reminds you of the trauma that Audrey has gone through. And she's sitting with her father. Like, it is bananas that she's still working with him and trying to learn the business from him. And, you know, she's got her own motivations, and she's obviously a very smart woman who can take care of herself. But yeah, man, like, let's not gloss over the fact that she was
it's glossed over and forgotten.
Almost turned into a junkie, almost had to get raped by her father. Like, this is a lot of stuff, and they're just sitting there at dinner, and the most that comes out is a cough at the mention of the word virgin. It's weird. All of this is super weird. And that combination, like you said, that combination of Cooper and her father in Jack, it's just very strange. But all right.
Yeah, and all the stuff with Audrey and Cooper, I just want you to know I didn't do anything. I was in here, and now this is like more of that.
Yeah. Well, finally, it's time to head to the Roadhouse. It must be 9:30 somewhere.
Time for the meeting?
The meeting of the angels commences, Eric, and the three ladies combine their clues.
Now, there is a David Lynch festival called The Gathering of Angels, which started in 2009. So if anybody out there wants to invite Dan and I, all expenses paid.
Of course.
I'd love to go.
Send your private jet.
We can visit with some of our old Doctor Who show friends from overseas. We could talk about Twin Peaks. How great would that be?
That'd be fantastic. So get on that. Anyway, tell us.
I like this scene for a lot of reasons, but also just to say, like, we're all in high school together. Like, when they come over, Donna comes over and she sees Shelley, and they're like, hey, how was first period? And like, do you want to share a cigarette? Like, they're in the bathroom. Cigarettes are cool, guys.
They are.
They will kill you, but you know, you forget. It's hard, like, from being someone that I haven't smoked probably since I was 28. I smoked a lot, and sometimes this is triggering a lot of memories when you're like, oh, I used to smoke a lot of cigarettes when I was watching this show. Oh. I like all that stuff. And I like this whole idea of, like, they form this Shelley poem with the three sections together, which is very cool. You get Wyndham Earl there, another good POV shot when we see through Earl's eyes at them. That's all. I don't know. It's an interesting little mystery that Earl's doing.
Yeah. And just to get that shot of him at the bar is great.
He's really working that toothpick. Like, he's really working that thing.
Right. Yeah, whatever. It's great. We got him there. The three women together is fantastic. But Eric, it is time to finally.
Is it time?
Now it's time we get to watch Cooper try to learn how to cast a line. In his hotel room at the Great Northern, Cooper receives a call from Catherine about Josie's whereabouts. Turns out Josie may be around for quite a while.
Yeah. Now, if you were going to find a thing to talk about this episode,
this is it.
This scene. So let's get there. So, okay, Cooper working on his fly fishing technique, whatever.
It's cute. I love it, though. It's cute. It's very Cooper.
Yeah. So, you know, Catherine is the one aiming this gun, right? She's calling to say, hey, go over to this room in the Great Northern. She knows that Cooper's going to go there. Couple of interesting things on the side of his table. So I don't know if you noticed the stuff next to Cooper's bed. He's got a big book on Tibet. He's got his Bookhouse Boy patch. He's got the duck call that he carved from the pilots there. There's a cup of coffee. There's his recorder. So it's like all the little Cooper world is there right at the side of his bed. Okay, so Cooper walks over there. He hears the struggle.
Help! Please help!
I love you.
No!
Oh, Josie, please. My darling,
Don't
please.
touch me! Don't touch me! Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me.
Eckerd, not seeming to be the violent one, you know, sort of trying to get her, and she's saying, get away from me, get away from me. He's like, no, cool. Bam!
Yeah.
Opens the door. They are immediately prone. They are flying flat, almost pretending to be asleep. They went from whatever they were doing real fast down. Real fast. And then he gets up.
It was very strange. Like, I guess it was just for just to heighten the tension of who got shot or what actually happened, but it doesn't make any logical sense. That wouldn't happen.
No. But I do really like Eckerd falling down, revealing Josie with the gun.
Yes. That's a great shot.
It's a great sort of very good reveal.
Because she's laid out on the bed, and then he comes in just to, you know, everyone just watches. So why am I explaining it? But you just, as he walks in front and takes up the majority of the frame, in that moment, she's behind him, and when he falls, it's a great shot.
So he's confronting her, like, and she's again still making excuses. He was going to do this. He was going to do this. Is that what you're going to say that I was doing?
Right.
Like, you shot me, lady.
Who shot you?
You punks couldn't drop me.
5 shots couldn't drop me. I took it and smelled.
So that whole thing is great. And then Harry comes in with the put it down. Like, he's really, this is the beginning of, it's not the last time you're going to hear Michael Onkeen use the same type of voice volume level. He's going through it.
Yeah.
He's going through it. So I can't wait to talk about this for a variety of reasons. Like all good things, open to interpretation. Well, one part of it, I think, will be laid out that you can say, okay, this makes sort of sense, and you can see how that connects. And then there's the other part of it that you're like, wow. So let's deal with the first part. Josie is so full of fear. What does Bob feed on? His children are, the pleasures and fear and everything. And that's what she's completely filled with fear to the point where she dies. She grabs her heart and sort of falls over.
Right.
And then he consumes her, and maybe her soul gets trapped in the wood of the Great Northern, which we'll deal with later. I think put that on a side plate. But as a kid, and when I first watched this, you're like, what is going on? Because you get that spotlight.
Yeah.
And then you get what's coming with Bob crawling up, and you're like, yes, finally. We're back to it. And then it goes to the man from another place dancing.
Yep.
And I can remember being disappointed and thinking, like, they're just out of ideas. And now we're trying to go back to this thing that was, but it's not really earned.
Remember this thing that was cool before? Yeah. Yep.
I really like the Bob coming up.
Coop! What happened to Josie?
It doesn't make sense to me why the man from another place is there dancing, other than just to remind you that this is a red room. I'm already well aware. You got the spotlight, you got Bob. I feel like that was enough.
Right.
And then it goes into the doorknob.
Well, is it a doorknob? Or is it a doorknob, or is it?
It's not a doorknob. It's the knob of a dresser. It's a dresser knob.
Dresser drawer. We just got to be very clear about the weird thing that happened.
Yeah. It's not a doorknob. It's a dresser. knob.
Yeah.
She's trapped sort of in the wood of the Great Northern, I guess.
And I will say, for 1991, that was a pretty good effect. Like the actual visual effect.
The superimposes her face and then becomes that 3D.
Superimposed face, and then it stretches out, and it's a very, like, the abyss. This could very well have been, Star Trek The Next Generation level of... but, for an effect shot at that time, that was pretty dang good.
Yeah. This was that iconic thing I kept talking about. For those that are putting together a Wikipedia page for me.
Uh-huh.
When I had asked Mark Frost on Twitter 1,000 years ago, like, is it chance or chance?
Right.
He answered me, And immediately I said, why is Josie in the doorknob? And I never heard from him again. So that was the end of
he's
that
like,
thing. But
because it's a dresser drawer knob. God.
it's an interesting concept. Like, you let me know what you think. Let me know what's your take on what any of this stuff means.
No, okay. Thank you for the whole fear being the attractor or the thing that's why Bob was there. Because I didn't get, none of this was obvious to me at all. Did she have a heart attack? Why was she dead immediately and no one bothered to try CPR? She would have been dead for less than 15 seconds when Harry said she's dead. Yeah. CPR would have been fine. That bothers me. The man from another place dancing on the bed with a silly little smile. Like, it didn't do anything. It had no purpose there. Bob, coming over the bed is great. I will never not be happy / terrified to see him. But we've already seen that shot twice before. Him behind, the foot of Laura's bed and then coming over the sofa. So it's not anything new. And it wasn't really taking me by surprise because it had the spotlight there. I don't know. None of it really worked well. And it's kind of like you were saying. It's just like, hey, okay, we got to play the hits because we don't know where we're going with any of this. So all of that really just kind of bugged me. Then Josie going into the wood. I mean, I don't know with the, the lumber, the woods, the whatever. It's just the spirit trapped in the woods. I don't know if there's anything deeper to it. Maybe we'll find out more stuff later, but.
We know that the log lady carries a log.
Mm-hmm.
Hawk has said there's many spirits in the wood.
My husband was a logging man.
Oh?
He met the devil. Fire is the devil hiding like a coward in the smoke.
It was the day after the wedding, wasn't it, Margaret?
The wood holds many spirits, doesn't it, Margaret?
So the idea of spirits and like your spirit being trapped in wood is an established part of the Twin Peaks mythos thus far.
Well,
so
okay. I've never come to my own conclusion about what the log is, the log lady's log, a spirit being trapped in there or some...
Yeah, some people have said it's her husband's spirit that's trapped into the log. Like, there's mystery and magic in wood, in trees, in forests.
Yes, absolutely. To me, it's always been about the forest itself and not the actual, material of wood. To me, the log was just a conduit for Margaret and not necessarily an entity in and of itself. You could even read it as not being magical at all, and that's just her own coping mechanism, and she's the one that has all this knowledge herself. It's not actually the log. So you could. So for me, and that's kind of how I've seen it, because I want to take the joy out of everything. But to me, it's more about the woods themselves being the entity and not like a piece of wood that Josie gets trapped in. So it doesn't really sit well with me at all.
If you were to allow yourself to accept the idea that spirits could be trapped in wood.
Sure.
And perhaps there's a spirit trapped in the log lady's wood that talks
I like
to
your
her
story
that she
better.
can hear.
Yes.
And that maybe Josie is trapped in the wood of the Great Northern.
Yes.
Then you can accept that as a reading. Doesn't mean that is the reading.
Oh, totally. No. It's more satisfying than the bare threads that I had that I was working with. So yeah, I like it a lot better.
So behind the scenes, Joan Chen wanted to leave, to my understanding,
and she stipulated she wanted to be a knob of wood.
No.
Oh no.
So she had asked to be written off the show.
Okay.
And David Lynch had come up with this idea as a way of maybe bringing her back if they wanted to. Mm-hmm. As far as I know, I think it was David Lynch's idea to have Bob here. I don't know if it was David Lynch's idea also to have the man from another place here, but to get her into the wood. You know, I think it was something like she gets trapped in the furniture. To me, that seems like a Lynch thing. So this idea did come from Lynch.
I love that.
So it's not necessarily of them stealing from or going back in a way because he's suggesting it. I had always thought it was that. But then when I learned that he was actually coming from him, it changes a little bit of how you look at it. He's not directing it. I think if he directed it, it'd be a different experience regardless. But I'm a fan of Lesli, Linka, Glatter. Anyway, I don't know. It's an iconic scene, and it's a weird scene, and it's a scene that doesn't really have an answer. Although, when we get to the return, I will point out a part where I think, there she is.
Oh, great.
So we'll get there, but it makes you think because it's open to interpretation, which makes it more exciting.
Which is great that it was a David Lynch idea, because I really do appreciate from him, not only like there's the moments of serendipity, so things just happen and it's a cosmic thing, and yes, let's just run with it. And also, you don't necessarily need to have answers for everything. That's fine. That's actually part of the fun of it too. So that's okay. It's just feels so out of left field that it happens at all. It feels strange,
especially with Bob.
Yeah,
because you're left wondering, was Bob in her? Was she possessed by Bob at any point? She was enacting that way, but she was killing people. So that's the way I first read it. It was like, oh, what happened to Joe? Oh my God, this is where Bob has been. He's been in Josie. But I don't think that that's the case. In subsequent watchings, it's like he was kind of drawn to this fear, and that's how he, latched on. You can read it in all these different ways.
Coop. Bob saying Coop, what happened to Josie, feels strange too. That he calls him Coop. I don't know, for some reason that just doesn't feel very Bob to me.
I don't get that from that. I almost feel like it's like an attack, like he's personal with him at this point. Like it's more of like an intimacy that they have.
Maybe. Yeah.
Than now. I don't know. I get your point. I don't.
It didn't strike you that
way. It didn't bother.
Yeah,
it didn't bother me in the way I guess it bothered you.
Bother's too strong word, but yeah, it just struck me as a little odd. But anyway, I don't know, man. It is definitely a memorable ending to an episode. One of the best endings to an episode from that point of view.
And as I said, there's a future. This could have been the last thing that you saw.
Can you imagine how that would have just killed Twin Peaks? Like it would not have lasted the test of time if that was the end, as opposed to the end of the second season. What it really...
Yeah, well, I don't know. I would still last, because those are bangers. I mean, you can put the pilot on at any.
No, they're great, but I think they would have still...
Episode 14, I think it would have lasted.
I strongly disagree.
If it ended here, I think everyone would say, no, watch it until the Leland Palmer story is done. And then they would have...
People still say that.
...re-released it, and then you would have had that, and maybe they dropped these other episodes off. No, there was so much good stuff that happened up until... The last episode's brilliant. Don't get me wrong. But there's only like 6 episodes left. We've established so much that at this point, I feel like we're in... It's for the ages at this point.
Maybe.
What I'm trying
I don't know. I don't think I've been in the same way.
We're like disagreeing over some hypothetical world in which
Twin
Peaks. Right.
Okay. All
right. So we're going to see you again in 2 weeks, and we will be in part 3, the last part of season 2.
And if you miss us, will there be a?
Yeah. If you miss us, first off, follow us on Instagram.
Yep.
I finally got over 100 people on there.
Yep.
And guess what? You follow us on Instagram, I'm going to follow you back. If you followed us on Instagram and I didn't follow you back, it's probably because I missed it.
So DM him.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah. Or
Instagram.
Join the Patreon and have a conversation over there with some diehards. That'd be fantastic.
You could join the Patreon for free and get access to some of the interviews we did. We have some extra stuff on there. You pay $3, you get a podcast with Dan and I. We're talking about Donahue. What are we talking about, Dan? We're talking about Saturday Night Live. Like the Twin Peaks Saturday Night Live, not just general Saturday Night Live.
Japanese coffee commercials?
Japanese coffee commercials. Come on,
More
the
stuff
Georgia
coming.
Coffee commercials.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff is out there. We're going to be recording soon, and you're going to be on there, and you're going to be loving.
You're going to be psyched. So we'll see you there.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
See ya. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Meanwhile podcast with Dan Johnson and Eric Grissom. If you would like to support the Meanwhile podcast, join our Patreon. It's available right now. You can sign up, and for just a few dollars a month, you can keep this show going, and you can get access to some exclusive podcasts and some secret stuff that you're not going to find anywhere else. So if you'd like to join, go to ericgrissom.com/meanwhile and look for the Patreon link. If you like our show, please consider rating and reviewing the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're hearing this now. Meanwhile is produced by Eric Grissom and Where's My Robots? The Meanwhile theme song is written and performed by Paul Finn and Evening Pines. If you want to let us know what you thought of the show, you can reach Dan at danjnj.com, both on the web and on Blue Sky. Eric can be found on Blue Sky at ericgrissom.com, which is also his website. It's also me, right? That's weird. We'll see you again, and in the meantime, be good.
Listen to the sounds.
Meanwhile,